On the night of 9th of March 1945, the United States Army Air Forces conducted a devastating firebombing raid on Tokyo, the Japanese capital city. This attack was code-named Operation Meeting House by the USAAF and is known as the Great Tokyo Air Raid in Japan. Bombs dropped from 279 Boeing B-29 Superfortress heavy bombers burned out much of eastern Tokyo. More than 90,000 and possibly over 100,000 Japanese people were killed, mostly civilians, and 1 million were left homeless, making it the most destructive single air attack in human history. The Japanese air and civil defenses proved largely inadequate. 14 American aircraft and 96 airmen were lost. On the 8th of March, LeMay issued orders for a major firebombing attack on Tokyo the next night. The raid was to target a rectangular area in northeastern Tokyo designated Zone 1 by the USAAF, which measured approximately 4 miles by 3 miles. This area was divided by the Sumida River and included most of Asakusa, Honjo, and Fukagawa wards. The first B-29s over Tokyo were 4 aircraft tasked with guiding the others in. These superfortresses arrived over the city shortly before midnight on the 9th of March. They carried extra fuel, additional radios, and 21 Bomber Command's best radio operators instead of bombs, and circled Tokyo at an altitude of 25,000 feet throughout the raid. This tactic proved unsuccessful and was later judged to have been unnecessary. Preparations for firebombing raids against Japan began well before March 1945. In 1943, the USAAF tested the effectiveness of incendiary bombs on adjoining German and Japanese-style domestic building complexes at the Dugway Proving Ground. These trials demonstrated that M69 incendiaries were particularly effective at starting uncontrollable fires. These weapons were dropped from B-29s in clusters and used napalm as their incendiary filler. After the bomb struck the ground, a fuse ignited a charge which first sprayed napalm from the weapon and then ignited it. The attack on Tokyo commenced at 12:08 a.m. local time on the 10th of March. Pathfinder bombers simultaneously approached the target area at right angles to each other. Several raids were conducted to test the effectiveness of firebombing against Japanese cities. A total of 231 B-29s were dispatched, of which 172 arrived over the city. This was 21 Bomber Command's largest raid up to that time. The orders for the raid issued to the B-29 crews stated that the main purpose of the attack was to destroy the many small factories located within the target area, but also noted that it was intended to cause civilian casualties as a means of disrupting production at major industrial facilities. The B-29s in the squadrons which were scheduled to arrive over Tokyo first were armed with M47 bombs. A total of 279 B-29s attacked Tokyo, dropping 1,665 short tons of bombs. Another 19 superfortresses which were unable to reach Tokyo struck targets of opportunity, or targets of last resort. These aircraft turned back early due to mechanical problems or pilots deciding to abort the main mission because they were afraid of being killed. The raid lasted for approximately 2 hours and 40 minutes. Widespread fires rapidly developed across northeastern Tokyo. Within 30 minutes of the start of the raid, the situation was beyond the fire department's control. An hour into the raid, the fire department abandoned its efforts to stop the conflagration. Instead, the firemen focused on guiding people to safety and rescuing those trapped in burning buildings. Over 125 firemen and 500 civil guards who had been assigned to help them were killed, and 96 fire engines destroyed. The majority of those killed in the raid died while trying to evacuate. In many cases, entire families were killed. One of the most deadly incidents occurred when the full bomb load of a B-29 landed in a crowd of civilians crossing the Katatoi Bridge over the Sumida River, causing hundreds of people to be burned to death. 15.8 square miles of Tokyo was burned out. The number of people killed and area destroyed was the largest of any single air raid of World War II, including the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, when each raid is considered by itself. The casualties and damage caused by the raid and absenteeism by workers in Tokyo considerably disrupted the Japanese war economy. That's all for today. See you in another video.